Today's story is called Isaiah Delivers Good News and Bad News. You can better prepare by reading Isaiah chapters 40, verse 28 through 31. Our key word is good news. God chose a man named Isaiah to write a very special book in the Bible. Isaiah was one of God's prophets. God told him things that were going to happen in days ahead. Isaiah asked the people if they remembered how good God had been to them. He wondered how they could ever forget what he had done for them. Isaiah wrote to tell God's people some good news and some bad news. He told them they must obey God's commandments, and God was not pleased with their worship of idols. If they did not obey God, then he would let their enemies come in and take them away to another place. Isaiah asked the people some very important questions. He said, "Didn't you know, and haven't you heard? Our God is the God who created everything we see. He is the one true God." Isaiah also reminded them that our God is the God who parted the Red Sea so his people could walk across on dry ground. Isaiah continued to remind the people that our God is the one who wrote the Ten Commandments. Ask your students to describe what they see in the picture and see if they can name any of the Ten Commandments. He also told them that their God was all-powerful. Our God led his people across the desert to a new home that only he could give them. The people learned to worship and obey him in the desert. Isaiah also had some good news to tell the people. He said that a special person was coming to teach the people more about God someday. God loves us so much that he sent Jesus to show us the way to heaven. He wants everyone to believe in Jesus. He wants us to read the Bible and do what it says. He wants us to obey our parents and come to church to worship him. Please bow your heads and thank God for loving us and sending Jesus to show us the way to heaven, and also to help us tell others about Jesus. For our Bible learning project at 9:15, we're going to give each of our kids an Isaiah warning sign project. They will do 2 circles, one is black and one is yellow. Allow them to color Isaiah and Jesus, then paste Isaiah on the black circle and Jesus on the yellow one. Then have them back to back on a craft stick. For our 11 o'clock service, we're going to do an Isaiah's Obedience spotlight. Give each child a black construction paper and help them glue circles on the black paper to make it look like a stoplight. Then help them glue the Bible verse labels onto each circle in order. For our wrap up and goodbye, we have a theme called Are You Game? And if you see Creation Station, it's decorated as Candyland. And in our classrooms, we're going to be playing this game with our kids. It's a type of Candyland. You can ask them questions about the books of the Bible. You can ask them questions about the story that you just went over with them. If you can't think of any questions on your own, don't worry, because in your curriculum on your sheet at the very back where it says goodbye, it has some questions already there for you. So you will get 2 pieces of pawns for them. You can separate your classroom into 2 teams. It could be boys against girls or just split them in 2. And then you'll have dice there. As they roll them, they get to move the amount of spaces that the dice say. And in order to stay on that space, they need to answer the question correctly.